This is Fox 49 News at 9.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Some areas east of Springfield that have already been hit with strong winds and in some cases hail could be getting another round. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Barnes.
And I'm Mike Landis. We begin tonight with the potential for severe weather right now. Jamie, looking at the radar screen, not clear anytime soon.
Yeah, we still got some areas of showers and thunderstorms. We are in the wind down phase for this round of storminess. But there are still a few severe warned storms in north central Arkansas, one south of Mountain Home, another one near Marshall. Both of these tracking a little east of due south at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. And both of those storms potentially could produce some strong wind gusts along with maybe hail up to quarter size. You can see a little hail core right there south of Mountain Home and also another one northwest of Marshall. Here in the Springfield area, we've had some wet weather. These aren't severe storms, but they've still produced some heavy rainfall and some lightning. This activity continues to sort of redevelop over the same general area from Springfield south to east of Galena. And you can see how they're moving off to the southeast. Now, we had a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for Missouri through 9 p.m. It is now 9 o'clock, so that watch is now over with, but we still have a severe thunderstorm watch for northern Arkansas through midnight tonight with still a few severe storms in place there. Temperatures at this hour, rain cooled in a lot of spots. 73 now in Springfield. Our forecast for tomorrow, not free of storm chances. I think for the morning hours especially, we'll have a chance of showers and thunderstorms. That activity will likely try to shift out of the area during the afternoon. It will have a big impact on temperatures, but here in Springfield, it looks like we'll make it into the 90s and another hot one expected on Wednesday before some relief by the end of the week. Guys?
It is feeling quite a bit chillier out there at this hour, Jamie. Thank you. And a look now at some of that damage across the Ozarks. This is hail sent in to us by a viewer in Elkton. In Fairgrove, another viewer sent us this photo of several pieces of hail that he picked up off the ground after a storm rolled through. And across state lines in Mountain Home, where they're getting some more rain and severe weather at this hour, strong winds blew over a trampoline sitting in a yard. It also appears that area dealt with a little bit of flooding earlier as well. And that's not all. The city of Seymour had damaged trees, power lines snapped, and debris covering roadways. The city now working on cleanup after a strong line of storms earlier this evening. Fox 49 spoke to the police department, who says its main concern is getting those downed trees cleaned up. Tree repair and removal crews have been very busy with the on and off again storms over the past several days. Damage reports are still coming in for a round of storms hitting the Ozarks. Fox 49's Parker Paget spoke to Springfield Public Works today about what their crews can remove for free.
I had crews in from 8 o'clock Friday night, periodically all the way through the weekend.
An increase in tree removal calls is no shock to Travis Stokes.
Over the weekend, starting Friday night about 8 o'clock, we got 18 calls for trees, or I could say tree parts, down affecting city right away.
After severe weather hit Springfield Friday night, they've seen a range of damage.
We saw everything from whole trees blocking entire roads to just hanging limbs over, major thoroughfares.
And if it affects those roads, it's no cost to you.
Anything that's in the roadways is what we're covering. The first thing that they should do is call our Citizen Resource Center. This is all basically paid for through taxes. So there's no additional fees.
Stokes tells me when it comes to potential storms, they're ready to keep those roads clear.
I have seven guys on my crew. So I just alert my crew to let them know that storms are coming in. So be ready for a call. Make yourself available if you can.
And that was Parker Paget for us tonight. Our other big story this evening, a midnight shooting in North Springfield puts one person in the hospital.
And now neighbors tell us they don't feel safe in their own homes. Fox 49's Carissa Codell is in the studio with us tonight. Carissa, what else did neighbors tell you today?
Yeah, the neighbors I spoke to say they frequently see patrol cars in the neighborhood. They tell me they're trying to stay out of the way of police and not interfere with investigations. Do you feel safe in your home?
No.
The most recent shooting in North Springfield has neighbors on edge. One woman has lived in the Robertson neighborhood for over 30 years.
Just because you live on one side of the neighborhood or one side of the city doesn't make you, less than anybody else.
She tells me the neighborhood used to be a safer place where everyone could play in the street. But a few years ago, a woman broke into her house from the back door while she was out front mowing her yard.
Ever since that happened, I don't feel safe. And now with the shootings, just a block or 3 blocks away from me is really unnerving.
The scene of this morning's shooting has been involved in previous calls to police. 2 nights ago, police were called to the house on North Rogers for shots fired, and 1 person was injured. Then they were called a few more times.
And officers did get called back to that same location July 16th in the early morning hours, a little after 1 a.m., to a report of shots fired again, but no evidence of shots fired had been located at that time. Today, a little after midnight, officers responded to that same address again to the report of shots fired. There was another victim with non-life-threatening injuries.
Walk away, you know. Don't go back for revenge. Leave that to God.
And police tell me no arrests have been made so far in the recent shooting. They do believe the suspect and victim knew each other. Mike?
All right, thank you for the update, Carissa. Well, a man has died after crashing his motorcycle north of Springfield. Kenneth Barker was driving east on Farm Road 66 around 6 last night, and that's when authorities say his Harley skidded right off the road, hit a fence, and then overturned. The Highway Patrol says Barker was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Well, a man accused of hijacking a car and kidnapping its driver is sentenced to probation. Prosecutors say Joshua Patton and Avian Parker commandeered the car in Branson last March and then forced the driver to take them down to Arkansas after he had tried to help them with a flat tire. Patton was sentenced to 3 years in prison, but a judge suspended the execution of that sentence and instead gave him 5 years probation after he changed his plea to guilty. Parker also pleaded guilty and was given 6 months probation.
Well, the lights are back on for thousands of people in southeast Springfield after a natural gas line exploded this morning, damaging utility lines and putting customers in the dark for hours on end. Fox 49's Sydney Moran explains how this all started.
This is crazy. I could just feel the heat and just the loudness of this fire.
It's a sight and sound Jocelyn Little Moon will never forget.
I kind of felt the house shake just a little bit, but it was the noise whenever I came out, just the rushing, the roaring of the fire. I have never seen a big fire like that before.
Little Moon was working just yards away from one of Springfield's natural gas lines. On Monday, 3 city utility workers were completing routine maintenance on that line.
When they disconnected that valve, it failed and the natural gas did not stop flowing and it ignited immediately.
The explosion caused down power lines, leaving 1,700 households without power on a hot summer day.
I'm just worried about everybody in the neighborhood, about their animals inside and their food in their fridge and trying to survive in this heat with no air conditioning.
For some, the flames forced them to evacuate.
You think ahead for events like this and you think, oh, what's important? Well, when you're actually in it, you're going, I don't think anything's important. I'm just going to grab some underwear, shirt and shorts and get the heck out the door.
Joel Alexander with City Utilities says this event is a reminder of how dangerous natural gas can be.
Situations like this can often end up a lot more tragically than they did, and we're very fortunate that our folks are okay, minimal damage.
Neighbors are also fortunate their homes are in one piece, even if it means dealing with no electricity.
We're happy that we aren't exploded. We might be taking cold showers tonight, but I need to cool off anyways.
And that was Sydney Moran for us tonight. Still ahead here on your News at 9, why Russia is being blamed for a possible humanitarian crisis. Details on that after the break.
You're watching Fox 49 News at 9 with Mike Landis, Lauren Barnes, weather with Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warrener, and sports with Dan Lucy.